You're listening to the Pelicans Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that. Birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. Ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and you best, show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's up, then don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always saying, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumper where the dame late, bunch of train. Swish, post game, big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the ref just might call a tag. You could double, you could press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever.
Shout out to the fam, man. What's poppin', man? PPR, we in the building, man. Shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all being in the live tonight, man. For all things Pelicans, you're now tuned into the Pelican Postgame Report. Shout out to you. Appreciate you, man. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Big ups to the fam. Appreciate all of you guys for being in the live. Shout out to Brother Castro, Stacy. What's poppin', fam? Much love to you. Appreciate y'all for being in the stream, man. Big Q, DC, Lexxah, we all up in this thing, man. We're going to talk some Pelicans tonight. It's the Pels gear up for a crucial season, man. A lot of stuff's on the line for this year. But we're going to go over some news, notes, and items on Pelican Talk. And then, man, we're going to drop the link and open up it's Friday Pel time, fam. We're going to drop the link and open up the stream for the family members to chime in. What's up, Bird Talk? How you doing? Yeah, man, I got several reports I got to be where I just told DC that in the meeting, man, prior to the show, man. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on, man. But big ups to you guys. Appreciate y'all, man, for being here. We got, like I said, we got some stuff that we're going to talk about, man, and we want to hear from you guys tonight. So please feel free to help us out by giving us a share, a like, and if you're not a subscriber, hit the sub button. All right. DC, how you doing tonight, sir? Appreciate all of y'all being here. Lex, DC, how's everything going, fam?
I'm doing wonderful, man. I'm just glad I don't have to watch football this Sunday. So I'm doing excellent once I realized that.
Well, I mean, that is true. I mean, you could watch football Sunday, just not the same.
I'm excited about not having to watch the Saints. Well, you know, if the Saints ain't playing, I ain't watching. I don't really care.
You might want to, DC, because there's not really good football going on from them.
I'm gonna just keep watching, looking at the standings, man, and see how the draft goes.
Okay, all right. Okay, I can't argue with that. All right, Lex, you all right? How you doing tonight?
Yeah, what up with you?
Oh, good. Everything's good. Appreciate you. All right, so anyway, fam, let's get it going, man, in the stream, man. Like I said, I'm eager to hear from some of the family members tonight. We'll open up the phone lines after we kind of go over some of these news.
I think Bird Talk then figured you out, Big Q.
He says you got 10 jobs like a Jamaican. I think the only Jamaican on the show is you, DC. So you kind of cornered yourself.
I don't have 10 jobs, man. That's you. One job, 2 jobs, 3. You lazy bum. You only have 3 jobs. You don't remember that skit from In Living Color, Lex?
Yeah, don't make me feel. DC, you know I'm petty. Don't make me go get the clip.
Go find it, bro. That was actually funny. I used to laugh at that one. In Living Color was man. They had some epic moments. Man.
You lazy lima bean.
Yeah, you lazy lima bean. And they play Homie the Clown right after that.
Oh man, yeah, those are some good skits, man. Very funny, man. All right,
very good part of my childhood, man.
That's right. Yeah, I didn't know they play that show over there, man.
Over what? In
Over
Maroro?
there no, on the island.
Yeah, they play in Maroro, you know.
Okay. I thought they was it in English or what?
It was on Fox, I think.
Okay. All right. Anyway, let me start messing with DC, man. Let's get right into some of this stuff. Shout out to you guys. Appreciate y'all being in the stream, man. All right, Pelicans. Now, this was early in the week. Cut 4 players. The Pelicans removed 4 players from their preseason roster, announcing on press release they said helped. Or what the hell am I talking about? It happened on Wednesday that they requested the waivers. Elfrid Payton was put on waivers. Keon Brooks Jr., Tyree Mitchell, and Josh Oduro. Now all 4 players were essentially identical. 9 guaranteed contracts with the Exhibit 10 clauses that would allow them to be eligible to earn bonuses worth over $77,000 apiece if reported to the BHAM squadron. They spent at least 60 days with the G League affiliate. Brooks and Oduro went undrafted early this year and have no prior G League experience, so they can be designated as affiliate players for the squadron. Payton and Mitchell played for the NBA GL teams last season, but they had their returning rights acquired by BHAM in a pair of separate trades during the offseason. So the Pelicans have 14 players on the guaranteed contracts and 3 on 2-way deals for a total of 17 players on the roster. So those are the 17 players who appear likely to open the regular season with the club, though it's possible the Pelicans will continue to shuffle Exhibit 10 players in and off the roster over the next few days for G League purposes. Josh Oduro, Keon Jr., Tyree Mitchell, and Elfrid Payton. So that's kind of helping out with the squad. Jalen Crutcher, I think
we got to pull up our active roster then to see what made the cut.
Let me see if I can find that, DC. This is one right here.
Shout out Elfrid Payton. That's one.
Shout out to Real
I think we should have kept Elfrid Payton, man. We always need a backup point guard, man. We always catch ourselves in a spot with Jose getting hurt.
Yeah.
CJ, especially after watching last game, CJ's just not a point guard, man. I don't want him to have to do that anymore.
Please don't. He's just too selfish with the ball, DC.
Let somebody facilitate for him, and he can just, when he get the ball, he can just shoot it, man. If he don't need to be shot, just don't swing it over.
Right, bro. He just listen. No disrespect to CJ McCollum, brother. You're just too selfish with the ball, man.
CJ is a certified scorer, man. Like he a walking bucket, but he is not a walking facilitator. I'll tell you that. Nah,
he trying to get his. But anyway, if you look at now this is unofficial, but this is some of the done right here by Rail Wright, one of our Pelican writers from the WhoDatDaily.com. He had put up a table here. At the point guard position for the Pelicans, you see DeJounte Murray, Jose Alvarado, is Antonio Reeves, and CJ McCollum there. Shooting guards, you got Trey Murphy there. Jordan Hawkins, Herb Jones, and Jamal Cain. Small forward, Ingram, Javonte Green, Malcolm Hill. Power forward, Zion Williamson, Mekovic, Jeremiah Robinson Earl. And he got the centers at Yves Misi, Daniel Tyson, Trey Jimerson. So, we have, like I said, it's not the most ideal roster the Pelicans have, but like I said, this is still what we called, and we've been saying this for a while, this is like a living roster, DC. Remember we had that term, Sam, the last couple of years, and that's just what it seems to feel like it is when you have players like what the Pelicans have. Like, we have some real talent, and it'll be determined how we intend we'll be able to use that. But in terms of that, Pelicans get those guys off. We just showed you an unofficial depth chart right there of what's popping. All right, let's keep it moving then, DC. Lex, I'm going to just let you guys have the floor after that to kind of comment on these articles. Pelican superstar named top 30 NBA player entering the regular season. Pelicans have more than one star on the roster, but but none of them shine as bright as the superstar forward. Pelicans no strangers to having star players on their roster, with a roster that includes CJ McCollum, DeJounte Murray, Brandon Ingram, Herb Jones. The star power goes on and on. 4 men are stars in their own right. None of them shine as bright as the superstar Zion Williamson. He made a name for himself in college by being the biggest and strongest man on the court. While he may not be the biggest man in the NBA, no one will question how strong he is, and he still shows his power when he backs down the biggest big men regularly. Williams has been so good throughout his career. to this point, when healthy, that ESPN has ranked him 27th in their top 100 NBA player rankings entering the 24-25 season. That's 30 spots higher than what he was ranked at last year's time frame. Right now, Williams rose 30 spots thanks to his availability this season, writes Michael Wright of ESPN, that allowed the former number one pick the ability to consistently showcase his electric skill set. The best ability is availability. Amen to that, man. A round of applause for that shit, man. Sheesh. You got to be there to win something. All right. That allowed the former number one pick the ability to consistently showcase his electric skill set as well. So in the 23-24 campaign, he has in any other year throughout his NBA tenure with 70 games, right? Williamson scored almost 23 points a game, 57% shooting, almost 6 rebounds, a 0.7 on the blocks across 31.5 minutes. But wait, there's more. The Pels just added DeJounte Murray to the roster, a true point guard capable of facilitating offense, something that the team has not had since Lonzo Ball in 2021. With a true point guard handling the facilitation, Williamson can now focus more on his scoring opportunities, getting away from the defenders and finding open lanes to drive to the basket and throw down monster jams. That is, assuming the big man stays healthy. While it is a legitimate concern, Williamson has worked hard on his durability with workouts twice a day and cutting the weight to 260 pounds this offseason, which should theoretically have him in much better position to remain healthy down the stretch. Williamson remaining healthy down the stretch is something that the Pelicans will need this year with the improvements they have made to their roster. They have more than an outside opportunity by surpassing the 49-33 record from last season and making their second consecutive playoff appearance and third in the last 5 years. It's shaping up to be a promising season for the Pelicans, and ESPN's 27th ranked player is sure to be a big part of it. Thank you, Mr. Troy Brock. This was a very solid article talking about ESPN and some of their people recognizing the seriousness, because it'd been a running gag about Zion Williamson at this time of the year coming into the season. Not the same this year. So, I mean, we'll see how it all flails. And let's keep it moving, man. And I'm gonna kind of give y'all the floor and let y'all talk about these articles at the time. Now, this is another one where we covered here, and this happened early in the week, dealing with the Kings and the potential trade rumors that's circulating around about Brandon Ingram. Kings remain interested in trading for Zach LaVine and Brandon Ingram. This is according to Bleacher Report. And writer Matt Issa, the Sacramento Kings remain interested in trading for Zach LaVine or Brandon Ingram. The Kings acquired DeMar DeRozan from the Bulls, and DeRozan and LaVine were teammates in Chicago for 3 seasons. Ingram is in the final year of his contract, and he'll make $36 million this year. The Pelicans are open to trading him. Meanwhile, the Bulls have been trying to trade LaVine for over a year. Ingram averaged almost 21 points a game, 5 boards, almost 6 assists, a steal, and 0.6 on the blocks in 23-24 while shooting 49% plus from the field, 35.5 from downtown, and 80% from the foul line. And we know what happened with the Pelicans last year, but in his career averages, BI is over 19 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists throughout his career. So the thing about it is, with this, and we kind of phrase it with this article, is that the trade interest is around what happened, and many people, the insiders, believe that the Sacramento Kings are attempting to clear some space in the near future to make a play for either one of the guys mentioned. So the trade that they did do mid-October was they traded Jalen McDaniels and a second-round pick to the Spurs. Now, with this move, they did create a trade exception of over $4.74 million. You know, they gave the Spurs a second-round protected top 55 pick in 2025 to open up some of that money. So a lot of them believe the salary dump is an attempt to free up future space for a potential move for one of these players. Very interesting. Like I said, it got dull until you seen the Knicks do what they did. Got spicy with that big cat trade that kind of woke people up at this point. Because a lot of people was like, okay, some of these big trades, we're about to get the season. All this stuff is not going to happen. We're just going to focus on what we got. Knicks said, no, boom, big cat. You take this Randall dude. And that kind of add a little spice to this section of the year. So we'll see how it all shakes and folds. So any way you slice it, man, a lot of people insiders are saying this could be a move for Brandon Ingram. They have 2 midi masters. I don't know if that'll work, but hey, man, we'll see what they're offering when the time comes. But anyway, I'm gonna bounce it back to you guys on that before we go to the next one. So DC, Lex, have at it. Which ones y'all want to cover? Y'all want to talk about the Brandon Ingram potential trade or the Zion Williamson 27th listing according to ESPN, baby?
I mean, we obviously got to talk about both of them.
Which one, DC? I know I'm not my bad, bro. Let me use my proper English. Which article would you want to talk about one?
First or second? No,
Lex, please help DC. Help my Lex.
Go Pels, man.
Go Pels, man. Go Pels, man.
It's all Pels. Peace. Yes. I think the Zion ranking is, self-explanatory. We done went over that a bunch of times. Him being 27th, in their eyes, I could respect that. I feel like he's 18th or 19th, but Brandon Ingram's situation, man, is, that's the one that gets us on the right track, right? That's the one that gets the Pels in a situation to where we can stop floundering around and flip-flopping on what we're going to be as a team. Go ahead and get this over with if this is what's going to happen. Free up a lot of confusion, make Trey Murphy happy, insert him into the starting lineup. So this is the, I guess, story I'm most interested in. The Kings remaining interested in Zach LaVine or Brandon Ingram. I mean, Brandon Ingram is obviously the better get out of the two players. Zach LaVine is more injury prone than Brandon Ingram. You know what I'm saying? And he costs more. I don't know what he's asking for a new contract, but I think he's still on the hook for another 2-3 years under that current contract, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm trying to figure out how this will work out for the Kings. Like, who would they send away? We obviously would have to involve a third team, I would think. They can't do anything but really give us draft compensation. Are we still trying to get a center? They don't have any centers to give us.
That's where the third team comes in.
Right. So who would the third team be? Is really the question. I only got 2 teams I can think of. Man. It has to be Orlando or the Blazers. You put Utah in the mix too. I guess they could be one of those teams.
Because we've been hearing about them consistently. But yeah, the Blazers, that was good in Orlando. But yeah, I probably say those 3 teams. I think Cleveland is definitely out though. I think they should just let go of the notion.
Try telling that to David Griffin.
Jared out. Yeah, he's stuck on that.
Not letting go of that Jared Allen
dream. That man had. That's the only plan that man had. That was his plan A, and he didn't have nothing after.
I like Jared Allen too, but I don't think he's trying to hold on to for 3 years, like to try to get it's getting crazy at this point. We've been going after Jared Allen for about 2.5 years already. But
DC, who says it's Jared Allen though? I mean, I don't want.
And he don't stretch the floor like that either. That's what's crazy. I mean, we talk about somebody stretching the floor and everything.
Actually, Jared Allen does. I think he can. I don't think he's been asked to do that.
He can stretch the floor.
Jared Allen consistently hits 18, 19-foot jumpers, and he didn't hit some 3-pointers.
I thought you said
he started taking 3-pointers. Yeah.
Well, when I say stretch the floor, I'm talking about.
Pull it up. He hit like 30. He hit like 30 of them last year. I think 30 3-pointers.
And how many games are in the season?
I mean, obviously it's a small sample size, but I'm saying he's hit 30.
Do we want to do the math?
How many JV hit last year?
DC trying to take the man back to college, man. Damn, DC. 30 games.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying he hit about 33 pointers. He didn't start shooting.
We got a lot of people up in here. Shout out to everybody who's listening in and stuff. Can y'all hit that like button?
Yeah, that's what's happening, everybody. That's right.
Shoot, what? Did I do it all right? Vicky.
I like your energy, Lex. Yeah, shout out to Lex, man. All right, so listen, man, y'all. Hey, The Brandon Ingram thing, yeah, this is Lex. We've in DC we've talked about this ad nauseum, man, about the incomplete feel of how it is. But I'm keeping an open mind and open heart about the whole situation. To be honest with you, where we go with Bi, man, things change rapidly on the NBA's landscape. To be quite honest with you, so the whole Bi card, man, that'll be interesting moving forward. So the third, yeah, the mystery team, DC. That's the whole point about who it is. You know, I don't know. They hadn't revealed who that team is, but
I
it's
mean,
just rumors early on. You know,
you got the Magic. They got like 4 or 5 centers on their rosters, man. And they
they
done
do.
signed everybody. There's no way they're
Didn't
trying
Wendell
to keep
Pierce?
all of those guys.
Seem like
Wendell,
everybody being stingy with their big men though, but it's
yeah.
very understandable.
They got like 4 though, Lex. They can't play. They got to move
Hey,
on.
Yeah,
hey,
then they
you
just
know
gave
what?
Pierce
The
a
thing
contract,
is,
didn't? I mean,
apparently,
Pierce. What's his name?
apparently they can.
Carter.
DC.
They gave Carter a contract, didn't him? Like what? 3
Wendell
years at
Carter,
50. Yeah, they gave him like a
Wendell Carter
contract.
Jr. still has 2 years at like $10 million a year, so he's still under contract. But they renewed everybody else. Gogo
I want
Batanza, they gave him a deal. Mo Wagner then got a deal.
Wendell
I
Carter
think
got
I'm
a.
missing another center they got over there, and they got Jonathan Isaac, who plays, kind of a small ball center role for them in power
I
forward.
think that would be the guy. To be honest with you, that
They're
would
not gonna
fit
give
with the
up
guy.
Jonathan Isaac. I ain't gonna hold you. If they gave up Jonathan Isaac, bro, you could wrap it up. Like our team would be
We've been
that would
pushing.
be crazy.
We've been
Especially if
pushing
you
that
want to
for a
play
while, though,
small
DC.
ball. That's
We've
the
been pushing
best
that for a
small
while.
ball center you probably could get. But he does have, he comes with injury concerns, which is why I could see them holding on to him in, another center or so,
Yeah,
because his injury concerns, and you can't play small ball against everybody, right? Especially not in the new NBA where everybody's trying to get bigger now. So some teams are leaning away from the old ideology of playing small, while we're just fully embracing it. People trying to get bigger
I
because
got a
everybody
quick.
can't beat the Celtics.
yeah. Carter, 3 years at what is it? Let me see. Didn't he give? They got a contract. Am I right on that? Let me do. I'm doing it. Go ahead, Lex.
You,
I'm
you
just.
probably you probably correct, but I think it's
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
only
Here it
two
is, right
now.
here.
Yeah.
Here it is, right here. I was looking for it. Yeah, they signed him. Magic signed Wendell Carter Jr. to reported $59 million. It's a 3-year deal at 59 million for Wendell. Yep. See, Orlando Sentinel. Orlando agreed to a contract with Wendell Carter Jr. on Monday. Per multiple sources, the deal is 3 years, 59 million, which will keep him with the team through 28-29 season. Includes team option for the final season. ESPN Tim Bontemps reported it. So yeah, when Tim Bontemps, that's the dude that be on the show with Wendy. It's Tim Bontemps and the other guy that be on the show with the Wendy's show. The Wendy, what's his name? I forgot the guy's name.
Dave
Windhurst.
Thomas show.
The Wendy show.
The Dave Thomas show. There you go. This guy right here. This is the him right there. He's a part of
You
he's
know
a part
what?
of
I'm sorry, man. Could you go to the Zootopia thing with Paul Hauser?
Oh wow.
Does that remind you of Wendy?
Yes. Be
My
like,
goodness.
you got a donut in your what? Uh-huh. What? Oh, there goes that little Dickens. I was looking for.
Oh wow. Yeah, crazy.
He had a donut stuck
Oh
in
my
his
gosh,
chin.
he looked dead like it.
That's so wrong to do Wendy
Oh
like
my
that.
gosh, he was looking for that donut and it was in his neck the whole time.
That wouldn't work. That wouldn't work with Wendy. Lex. That
I
wouldn't
don't know, man.
All right, but yeah, that's the thing though. Wendell Carter. So yeah, DC they do have a collection of centers, man. At that point, they need multiple teams to get involved with a particular a trade there. That'll be a move to kind of help improve the Pelicans make that jump. A lot of people believe the Pelicans are one player, especially a center. We covered that article before, away from really being a team that gets you there. So, like I said, when we started the broadcast, the thumbnail that's here, this is what's on my mind. The seeing the parade behind Zion grabbing the championship trophy. That's what we want to see. This is our thoughts made real right here. A championship for the city of New Orleans with Zion as the season MVP. That is the ultimate goal right here, fam. Let's not lose sight of that. This is what we want right here as diehard Pelican family members. So That's what we looking at, man. I just had to create it. Maybe I need to come up with some more art like that, fam, that just keep on having that in the collective mindset, because that's what it's about, man. Having one of these, that's what I'm talking about, baby. Getting there.
Okay.
All right, DC. And then when you get ready to go back, bro, we'll make one for you. We'll wrap it with a little green and yellow and red.
I enjoy the one that's right here.
Okay,
I'll go to
okay.
Smoothie King Center and check it out myself.
Okay, cool. All right. All right. Lex, go ahead, Lex. You wanted to chime in?
Yeah, I wanted to know y'all's thoughts about Jamarion Sharp. Did y'all hear about him?
Break it down, Lex.
He's 7'5". He played for the Mavs, and they just waived him.
Oh, you thinking the Pelicans might take a look at him or bring him in for
How good do you see him as? I'm not familiar with him. What do you know about him?
I mean, he runs the floor well. He knows how to use his length. Block shots.
Can he move from side to side? Because if he can't move from side to side, Willie ain't gonna play.
I mean, he looked nice out there. A lot of Mavs fans were upset that they waived him.
Okay, that's a
so
problem.
They were like, "What are you doing?"
Oh, that's the kid from Ole Miss.
Just
pull him up, Q.
I am. I'm working on
and
it.
you can probably from his Mavs highlights, but just wanted to.
Why is head shaped like that?
He's 7'5", DC.
I mean, something's gonna be deformed.
Yeah, the man is literally
It's like we all have some type of deformities, right?
Yeah.
Maybe your eyes a little higher than the other.
Why his head look like that? What you talking about?
Like,
what's wrong with
look,
you over there?
That wasn't the picture I had in my mind.
What did he play like?
I mean, you didn't have any picture. You didn't know what the man looked like.
Gracious.
But he had to be a brother because his name was Jamarion. So I mean,
he looked like he got squished like sideways. His shoulders all short.
That's just
put the tape on. Let me see the man play.
Go ahead, Lex. I'm sorry for that comment.
No, you good. I was just, just wanted to know.
He's young too. He's 23.
Yeah.
I said the quiet part out loud, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, DC. Yeah, it's all right, DC. So okay. All right. So I'm trying to pull up some footage on him right now.
It might look different. He look different moving, Bad picture. It's bad angle. Oh wow, that was nice.
Yeah, this is the guy from Ole Miss. I remember from Ole Miss.
Yeah, I've watched, a few of the Mavs games, just trying to peek in on other games, but he seemed to move well,
A 7'5" guy that can move, challenge, and everything. I would go for it. He can't cost that much money. Look at that. Damn.
Wow.
Yeah. And plus he's 7'5".
We don't try to get him somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody will.
There's other people who are looking for a center. Lakers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and he seems very aggressive.
I'm getting a little worried now because I'm only seeing the same stuff.
Right.
There we go. Oh, that okay.
This is G League?
Yeah, some of his G League stuff, yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be the little stuff, man. He probably still learning the game. The highlights look nice, but like you said,
that's Trey Jemison right there. He blocked on
the same ones.
Now they got a few new ones in there. Look, I mean, a 7'5" center that runs, man. It's a rim guy.
I don't see him running.
He just jumped on. Dunked on Trey Jemison on that one.
Okay, there we go. Okay. Yeah, he definitely worth giving a shot to.
I mean, he can. I mean, I'm looking at help with the rebounding, things of that nature. I mean, because he looks active around the basket, and rebounding, believe it or not, is going to be a concern. So,
you think so, Lex?
I mean, yeah. I mean,
did you talk? He been cut. He was cut.
They released him. He's
they waived
Dallas
him.
Mavericks cut him.
I guess they, Mavs fans were like, "Dog, you should have let go of Powell instead of this guy.
Oh, that's what they said.
Paul is.
Wow.
Yeah, I had to say that about him because Paul is. Paul gets he be hurt too.
And you know, it might be a money thing too. They're a team, and
Yeah, it possibly is, but hey,
they're starting to
for
pay
whatever
people.
reason, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you can't teach height, and we could definitely
It's intriguing, man. That's
use that on
intriguing.
the team.
He's a
but,
local kid too from Ole Miss over there, so I mean that wouldn't be a bad deal.
yeah, Southern guy.
New Wave say he a dog. All right, but that works
Okay.
investigating.
Yeah,
That's worth
and
investigating.
we do need
We
dogs.
put them in the weight room. We might have something, man.
7'5",
Yeah.
DC. Them guys on. You know.
Yeah, that's right, Jordan G. I definitely was thinking the same thing. I get them just to use against Wemby.
Or Edie.
Yeah, Chet Holmgren.
I don't know about Edie. Look, Edie kind of thick, man. Edie.
I mean,
well, you use them in intro. You got to goon it out though, DC. That's what we have.
but still, like, just having his height, and then you're talking about you're not even looking at his wingspan.
Mm-hmm.
That's enough to alter shots, especially it's like, hey man, you don't have to in certain situations you don't have to go for every block. Just put your hands up, make yourself big.
But I'm with you, Lex, on the rebound. And I wonder how good his rebounding is, because that's other than Trey Jemison, it seems like I don't know how good Carlo is. I think maybe he's cool. Daniel Tice ain't about to snag a whole bunch of boards. And Ease Mises has a problem, you know, still getting on the boards.
Who?
He ain't figured it out yet.
Yeah.
What's his name, DC? Hold on, Lex. Hold on, Lex. DC, what's the man name?
The rookie. Mises.
Feces.
You nasty.
You said it's Yves Mises. What's Mises?
Mises.
It's more than one of them?
Yves Mises.
Dude, stuff. Okay, never mind. Go ahead, Lex. I'm sorry.
Oh no. My
Mises.
system is locked up, so I'm gonna come back in, okay?
Okay.
All right.
DC, what are you talking about? Mises rhymes
the rookie we got that should be from Mississippi.
It's one of them things where Mises rhyme with Reese's. Is that what's going on here?
If that's what you like, that's what you into, bro.
It's Yves Mises, bro, not Mises. It's on it.
Yves Mises.
No, it's not Mises. It's Misi.
Yves Mises, yeah. That's what I think.
Okay. All right, DC. All right. Anyway, yeah, that's not a bad suggestion by Lex. For Jamarion Sharp, not a bad idea at all.
How good is your guy at rebounding, Lex? You pay attention?
I'm trying to pull his stats up here to try to see what you got going on. Lex, how good is he at rebounding? I'm trying to pull his stats up now.
I'm not sure. I watched towards the end of the Mavs game and saw him like live, but I really noticed how active he was around the glass. I don't know. I was skipping through a lot of games that day.
I mean, on potential, it's a 7'5" shot blocker.
Yeah, I mean, he can't be that bad. I'm just saying he's worth a shot. Like, why not?
Yeah,
what do you have to lose? I know he may not be a starting center, but
I damn sure love to see him over JRE. I'll tell you that.
Because we could use some more size, man. 7'5", you can't teach that. Can't teach it. And there's a lot of experienced bigs out here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, man. We got a lot of people, man, to be honest with you. In terms of those bigs, man, we got a collection of different bigs, to be honest with you. Carlo, with his style, and more offensive than defensive, but a lob threat around there will dunk on you. Trey Jemison, more of a 7-foot sturdy defensive player, shot blocker. Yves Mises rhymes with Reese's, like DC says. And he's a guy that does his thing as well. I mean, he looked really good in that last preseason game too. And they talked about him, his ability to kind of learn quickly. So that's the big question mark.
Yeah, I like what I saw the last game. He nice.
Right. That's what I'm saying, DC. That's one of the sticking points we talked about when we talked about him, man, in terms of his learning ability, picking up stuff fast. So that could be a major thing. Let's kind of look at this, man. Then I'm gonna kind of hand the floor to you guys. We're gonna open up the phone lines tonight. I want to hear from you guys as well. Yeah. Bird Talk says, Q, time to make that call. Tell him to grab Buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, it wouldn't cost a lot of money too. Even if you grab the
Wouldn't.
guy and stash him on and play him in the G League, have him in the G League or whatever, because that's I mean, it wouldn't be. You need, I mean, Wimby or and Edie and whoever these big tall guys is, he'll be a developmental guy. Like I said, this dollar figure wouldn't cost a lot of money. It would be actually a pretty solid move to get him.
I'm
So
so weird.
shout out to Lex for
Probably
that.
trying to get them though. I'm pretty sure the Pels, they have to be looking at that and making calls, man. If they're not, I
Yeah.
mean, you're just doing yourself a disservice.
And that means they're not being aggressive.
Right. I mean, we don't really have anybody locked in at the center spot right now. Like, you have to consider that.
No.
Yeah,
You
all
don't
bets.
know what you might find.
Right, all bets are open right now in terms of whatever you got to do to improve the roster, especially at the center position. If you can get a 7'5" rim blocking center, and he looks like he don't look stiff and
Yeah, he looks like he moves well. Like
yeah,
he doesn't. He looks like he's comfortable in his body. Because a
yeah,
lot of times when you're that height, you don't look too comfortable.
yeah,
Or
he look
kind
rigid.
of unorthodox or something.
Yeah, he look rigid and stiff. Yeah, like some of them do, like Sean King looked back in the day. He a big tall guy, but he all rigid, and stuff like that. But yeah, there you go. All right, so, right, but Sean, that's what I said. What I said.
You say King. I figured you
Sean
meant
King.
Sean Bradley.
Yeah, Sean Bradley.
Dallas too.
Yeah, there you go, brother. Yeah, I'm
Damn,
talking.
Dallas has a history. No, think about it. Didn't they get the other brother who was it Boban Bogdanovic or whatever his name was?
They did. I think
He's like
Boban
7'3" or something. He's
something
huge
like
too.
that. Yeah,
So they always looking for them big old dudes, and they gave him like he had a little role too, man. He would come in, towards the back end of the game, and he was a fan favorite. Yeah, I mean, a role over there for a while.
But that's what good teams do, bro. You have players that you roll out when you need them to roll out to help you out. When you got an extraordinary size Wemby or, like I said, Edie or any other tall guy, you need a tall guy for a tall guy to kind of throw at him. There you go. If you need to throw a couple of centers at them, somebody, I like to say goons, guys that you don't care if they foul out or not, they can go out there and get physical with their guys. And we got a bunch of them. That's one of the things I was saying in the offseason. Like, we have all these different centers and we know how to use them. What the hell we care if we roll Trey Jemison out there against the Joker and he gets physical with him or whatever? What the hell we care? He gets physical with the Joker, kind of beats him up a little bit, something, and he gets 5 fouls. Who the hell cares? We roll the next guy out of there to kind of, to get physical with these guys. So, I mean, it does open the roster.
Just think defensively, though, man. Putting the wrong centers out there and just what you're trying to do offensively, you can't throw a monkey wrench in that with what we have in Zion. If you're going to be a center that can't shoot, you have to be a hell of a screener. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be able to set Z up that way and the other guys on. And I think that's something that's going to take some minutes away from Mises. He looks like he's still working on that. He's not an impatient screener. He's just not great at it.
Mises.
Yeah.
No, not Mises. Why are you making it plural?
What's wrong with you, man? Keep the show going.
So just ignore that the fact that you butchering his name is Mises. It's not Mises.
A lot of names be butchered on the show.
You heard what DC said. What you doing? Keep the show rolling. I'm stopping the show.
Like Mississippi, but it's me. Mises.
What? Okay.
Okay, there you go. Okay, let's move on. We're gonna keep the show moving on that one. There you go. Oh, that public school Jamaican education. That public school Jamaican education, boy, I tell you. All right, Pelicans projected depth chart.
The next 10 names you mess up, I'm gonna be sure to point them out to you.
Okay.
Even if it's on the sports com, I'm gonna come over there just to point it out to
you. No, you're not. Okay, no, you're not. All right.
Try.
No, hold on. You can't do that because I corrected you several times in a row. You keep saying the man's name wrong.
Mises.
Okay, there you go. Qualifying for the playoffs last year, the Pelicans entering the 24-25 season, aiming to make back-to-back postseason appearance for the first time since 2009. Pelicans finished 49-33 last season via the play-in tournament, earned the 8th seed in the Western Conference. They have increased their win total each of the first 3 seasons under head coach Willie Green, and will look to continue that trend this year. Among the offseason moves the front office made, including acquiring DeJounte Murray from the Hawks in a package centered around Dyson Daniels, Larry Nance, and 2 first-round picks. The team also drafted Yves Missi, the 25th to 21st pick, and Antonio Reeves, the 47th pick. With the preseason underway, Rookie Wire looked at where the Pelicans depth chart stands and projected the starters and backups for the upcoming season. So this is a little dated here. And it kind of shows these guys, DeJounte, and the money that they're making. DeJounte 29.5. Jose got his bread too, as well. Antonio Reeves at point, and the shooting guard, CJ McCollum, 33 and a third. Jordan Hawkins, Javonte Green, B.I., Trey, Zion, Jeremiah Robinson Earl, Carlo Mekovic, seeing him as a 4. And here they go with this, with Herb at almost $13 million, Daniel Tice, and the 2-way contracts of Kane, Hill, and Trey Jimerson. So that's a few of the things. And they heard some of the stuff about Herb playing some of the time at 5, basing on what they want to roll out. So that's very interesting to kind of go at. But DC, let's talk about the and this show is basically centered around as the Pelicans gear up for the upcoming regular season, man. Mm-hmm. Like I've said, man, I have this thumbnail right here. This is my vision, and this is really the not who that, but the Pelican, diehard Pelican family members' vision of what the end result will be. Zion championship trophy for the city in a parade. That's what we want to see. All right, so there you go. All right. New Wave. DC, what's that? What you putting that up there?
Apparently, New Wave don't see the vision because he said we always hating on Willie. So,
oh, he's saying who's hating y'all on Willie?
Y'all stay hating on Willie. So he talking about y'all would be us.
I don't hate. I don't know what you're talking about, brother. I don't hate on Willie.
And you know what, New Wave? Yeah, you might be. I guess it's me and Lex because Big Q is a Willie fanatic over here, and he champions Willie, and as you can see, he has us winning the championship. So
that I didn't
possibly do that.
I didn't champion Willie. I see Zion Williamson being fully healthy. That's a big part of getting.
Yeah, and the little bird over Zion's shoulder right there. You put that. See that little bird over there? That's Willie.
No, that's not.
Willie is behind the Pelican.
No, it's
your
not.
Vision.
No, Willie is the coach of the team, brother. Let's not blow it up. And I'm not nobody fanatic, bro. I'm just keeping it real on the fact that this is the team. This is the head coach of the team. The head coach of the team, and in his 4th season with all the pressure, he has.
Willie gonna be a championship coach with us?
Yeah, he's gonna be a championship coach. You can't do it without Zion and this good team. Will Simple.
You're wrong. Willie is already a championship coach.
He has won championships as an assistant coach.
Oh,
so I mean that's facts, bro. We can't make up nothing here. All right. So anyway, feel free to delve in there, DC, and talk about the prospects for the Pelicans in terms of what you see them going to be at the top of the season. How competitive? What do you think?
I haven't changed, even though I see negatives. I see issues here or there. It's right on schedule to what I thought it would be. I still see the Pels winning 50 games. Like they're too talented. I think injuries by default would help to balance out some of the roster issues of not knowing to play who. I mean, people are going to get hurt, and we are more prepared for that than I think. Say 60% of the league, man. If we get injuries, I think the Pelicans are set up in a way where they still can be a good team, no matter who gets hurt. And yes, that's including Zion. We can still be a pretty good team, barring any unforeseen injuries, other than like Zion being out for the year or something like that. That'll kind of derail everything. But if Brandon Ingram goes down, you don't miss a beat. Even DeJounte Murray, if he goes down, I still don't think we miss a beat. Obviously, we're a better team with all of our guys, but the Pelicans have put themselves in position to be so talented that I think by default, they still find a way to win at least 50 games. how I've seen it, I don't see it going any other way. I think they do have a potential problem that Lex spoke about with the rebounding, as we saw in the preseason. But I got real high hopes for Zion. I think Zion is actually going to step up in that department this year. And as you can see throughout the preseason, DeJounte showed and has always been a really, really good rebounder for a point guard. So I think him and Zion maybe taking that step up, getting at least 2 more a game over last year. And everybody else, I think gang rebounding will be a bigger emphasis and a bigger focus uh, for Willie and the rest of the coaches, because we playing small ball, man. They have, if they don't do nothing, they have to rebound, because you want to get out and run in transition. Like, you can't do that if you ain't getting a rebound. So I think they find a way to figure that out. Night to night basis, I think we're gonna be too much for a lot of teams. If they play the actual style that I think they'll play, where they're getting more up tempo, shooting a lot more threes, and it bodes well for regular season success. And we cannot forget that we have none other than Mr. D'Antoni sitting around sipping Mai Tai somewhere, trying to coach them along with this. And his scheme or his style actually does bode well in the regular season. And I think we're going to run not his system per se, but a similar version of that, probably designed more by James Borrego, and combining that with Willie Green's defense. And I think that'll lead the Pels to winning at least 50 games.
Is that, are we a playing team, DC? What you think?
No.
Okay, good.
I don't see the Pels as a playing team. They're too talented to be a playing team. Then all the teams they have in front of us, like for me, Denver is a team that I think is very good. They won a championship, but it's just something ain't right about them, man. I don't know. This could be an off year for Denver. We don't know what they're gonna look like. They're not gonna be at the top of things. Minnesota, to me, I know what they're coming off last year, but they don't have Big Cat anymore. What does that look like? How are we so sure about Minnesota? They're changing a lot of things. I think they'll still be good, but I mean, like, that. Who's the definitive number one in the West? Dallas is a team. It's like, okay, that's Dallas. I got to get them their props, right? You put them up there. They went to the finals. They got Luka. Can't say nothing about Dallas. But when I start going to everybody else, man, everybody got something wrong with. You know what I'm saying? The West. Now, they do have a lot of bigs in the West. We're a small team, so I know that's an issue. We can definitely get pounded down low. We don't figure out what we're doing with that. But you got Sacramento. They got better, but how much? Getting, DeRozan, does that fix all of their issues? Does that propel them to the top 3 team? The Thunder, okay, you can put the Thunder up there. They were really young. They had a great, year last year. You would expect them to maintain the same trajectory or get better. But okay, who else? The Lakers? Like, Lakers ain't a lock to me. The Lakers could be back to the goddamn playing again. All it takes is for LeBron or AD to get hurt. And to me, the West doesn't look as unbeatable or unstoppable to work your way through as people try to make it out to be. Now, I do think there's one team I didn't mention that I don't know what the hell they're going to be, and they could shock a lot of people. The Memphis Grizzlies with Zach Edey, obviously. And just for fun, another team with an asterisk, the San Antonio Spurs. Don't know what the hell they will look like with Stephon Castle and Chris Paul. But out of those teams that I named, those about 4 teams right there, everybody's set. Now, those other 2 spots, like, I don't think it's etched in stone, or anybody could say that the Pels can't be at least number 5 or 6. If I'm picking standards, I would at least have them there. Now, if you didn't put them above those Minnesota, OKC, Dallas, and I guess Memphis. Anything else is just like,
Well, DC, this is
Phoenix don't mean nothing, man.
let Well, appreciate you, but let me get Lex involved because this is an article I think when she was talking about the NBA standing predictions. A lot of the writers from the NBA, this is their call on what they believe for the Western Conference standards. You can see they got OKC and Minnesota at the top. One of these writers do Ashburner and the Pelicans position as a play-in team. The next guy, Brian Martin, has the Pelicans position at 7 as a play-in team. OKC, Denver, and Dallas on top. The next guy, Sean Powell, OKC, Minnesota, Dallas on top. Pelicans number 8, that's playing. John Schumann, OKC, Minnesota, Dallas, Denver on top. With Pelicans as a playing team at number 8. So these are some of what the writers and some of what the NBA writers are saying. Lex, let me bring you in because I know this is one that you was talking about and mentioning. And what's your take on the Pelicans and their positioning, you think, at the start of the season in terms of talent and competing in the West?
I want to ask a question real quick before I go into it. What does it mean when we say the Pelicans are talented? Are we saying that they're more talented than other teams in the West? What do we mean when we say that? We have more depth, better bench players than other teams in the West. I just want to. I'm just
you
because I know
referring to
we
me
say that
saying
all the time.
talented?
Yeah, just what does it mean when you say? Because are we saying like, okay, more talented than other teams because other teams do have talent?
No,
You
no,
know what
no.
I'm saying?
Well, I'm gonna tell you what I mean. I mean that,
Okay.
and I'll say this in just this one statement because this is what I think
Okay.
sums it up. We have a team that in which after we play our 5 best players or what we consider to be our 5 best players together, and we go to our bench unit, we have 2 to 3 starters on our bench. So you can consider it depth, but on top of that, we're that type of team, and we have a superstar player. You don't really see a lot of other teams in the NBA with that. So that's what I say when I mean talented. Not only do we have a superstar player, which some teams don't have, we have a collection of maybe 7 starters that would be starters on other teams in the NBA. Shit, we got a dude that came off our bench, went to Dallas, and got paid who might be starting. Najee's probably gonna get starting minutes. So
Clay's hurt, so
that's what I mean when I say that. Like
yeah.
you ain't got a lot of teams in the league.
I want to
got
say
that on the East or West.
I want to say, didn't Klay Thompson have an injury for Dallas?
Did he? He looked bad too, man. They was waving Klay off and shit, man. Like Klay looked bad out there preseason.
He played well today.
He did. Well, that's good. Glad to see that.
Either today or yesterday. I gotta look at the schedule because there's games going on right now. But no, I mean that's cool, but I think there's other things that you have to contribute to that. As far as yeah, you said best players, but I think it's more so doing what's the best fit compared to having the best players out there on the floor as far as like the starting unit. But there's other things that you can't measure, and I think energy, just like having that chip on your shoulder, like having just like look playing with violence, that's something. And then there's strategy. I feel like those things really contribute to that. Just your whole game plan. And that's something I feel like we don't really talk about or include. Like we talk about the talent. We know that these guys are talented, but it's all about positioning these guys to succeed. Placing them into position to, right now, depending on the outcome, like who's starting, because we know Herb, he may start at the 5. Tice, he may start at the 5. People throwing Zion out there. Those things right there, it's like, if we're placing, either Zion or Herb, like we talked about, just depending on, the matchups, is that helping them succeed and in turn helping the team succeed? because I just kind of feel like, the identity crisis can be a problem. Yes, we have the talent, but really putting that talent together and getting the most out of that talent, I think that's the biggest thing. That has to be the biggest thing. Talent, all these teams have talent. All of them do. But it's about how you're placing the talent, how you're playing that talent together. No, what's the game plan? That has to be included, because you got to think. Nothing against. I'm not trying to go on a Willie rant or anything, but Willie, he's not the best coach. So you're talking about other teams that do have a solid point guard. They have a solid big man. They have solid wings. And you have a coach who knows how to place them at all times, including making adjustments to help them succeed. Like, it's not just talent. It's not just talent. Anybody can have talent, but it's like I've seen coaches where the talent and the IQ is not great, but they really show their coaching abilities by placing those guys. Look, I need you here. I need you there. We're gonna draw this up. We want to bring you out. We're gonna do a pick and pop. Whatever it is, they take the talent that they have and they make those guys look like, man, that team is really something. And that's without top talent or having a high IQ, but placing guys in the right position. But I just think that has a whole lot to do with it, because let's not fool ourselves. These other teams out here do have talent. They can get up and down the court too. I just being like all the way 100 across the board. We have talent, but other teams have talent too. So and versatility. Are the Pelicans the only team that are trying to do positionless basketball?
No. Now they got other people doing it. They got people, the switch all stuff that Willie's talking about. Yeah, they got a couple of teams that can do it better than the Pelicans. We know who the top one is that can, to do the switch all thing, that are very good at it. The thing is though, like our key piece to getting there, Lexxah, you speaking truth to power. A lot of people, they got talent. You're right. Most of these teams, the majority of all these teams have talent. But when you come down to New Orleans and you talk about Zion Williamson,
oh yeah, and I don't
that's what I'm saying. The thumbnail that I'm speaking for. That's why I got Zion on that. Not to disrespect the rest of the players, but if he's not there, then this doesn't work. The fact that this year, coming into this season, the mindset, the mind change of all of the last several years of seeing all of the stuff that happened every off season coming into the season. There was some stuff I remember the time when they hit the fact that he had a broken ankle that he hurt. And they dropped that on you at the open the season press conference. We dealt with it all. But there's no excuse this year. Zion Williamson, his mind is there. He went to China. He's talking right. He's more mature as a person. He had a child. He got the family responsibility. So this is a very mature version of Zion, mentally, spiritually, and as you could tell, physically. He looked really good when he played in the preseason. He did his thing, and that's the key chip to me. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. They have maybe 4 or 5 guys, maybe 5, maybe 6 guys in the NBA that you can kind of say are unstoppable when they get their mind right. We got one of them. So, yeah, that's what it got to come down to. But kind of you mentioned philosophy, and I know you kind of question Willie Green, and that's fine. But what do you think about the things that surround him? Now, DC kind of talked about Willie Green and his breakdown about the style and how they want the Pelicans, how he feels the Pelicans will play. But what about all the other stuff that we've seen in terms of what he said about James Borrego, how James Borrego's been on him, the stuff that's been happening at practice when you see a more and I ain't gonna say agitated, but for lack of better words, a more animated Borrego, the somewhat change of verbiage in terms of Willie saying how his team played soft, this type of stuff. And the fact that it's a progression into the fourth year, all of the pressures on him. He got a lead guard. How does it all shape up? We won 49 games last year with what we were doing last year. This year, healthy Zion, DeJounte Murray. Shouldn't that mean that we should blow past 50 wins? I know it's different from year to year,
Yeah.
but in my estimation, the Pelicans are a playoff team. And if healthy, they're a deep run playoff team, in my opinion. But go ahead, Lex. You what do you think about that?
I mean, it's something that we still got to see. And that's not a bad thing, because we know that things have been kind of consistent for 3 years. So, as far as having like a drastic change and really taking that leap, because I'm looking at regular season has improved every single year with Willie Green. That's great. But how is that translated in the playoffs? It hasn't. This has been a borderline playing team. Where do you really make your name? You make it in the playoffs. Where do you cement your legacy?
Playoffs.
Where do you get your credentials? What gives you your validation? It's the playoffs. It's what you're doing there. And so it's been you know very poor. It's been the tale of two different seasons, because we all know that the playoffs is a different breed. And so you have to really elevate your coaching and your philosophies and adjustments and different things of that nature when you step into the playoffs, because only one team during a series is focused on you. One team. You're not going to play a different team uh, on a different night, or every other night, or 2 nights later. It's going to be the same team. So it's really different when you separate the two. But obviously, the Pelicans got to take a leap in the playoffs. I mean, that's what this is all about, right? We understand.
Absolutely.
There's no doubt in my mind that this team can get to 50 wins in the regular season. If they get to 50 wins in regular season and it's a sweep in the first round, what does that mean? I mean,
That's a
did
failure.
you see what I'm saying? Like,
Failure.
what are we looking for? The wins helps to solidify where you're ranked in the standings. But after that, it doesn't mean anything, because in regular season you're building habits. You're building good habits. Hopefully, that's the whole goal. You're conditioning, and you're trying to master your game plan, master everybody's role, how this car is going to function at all levels. I mean, so once you establish that, because that's why when you look at the Celtics, what's one thing that you saw during regular season? They were consistent. They barely took nights off. They brought it every single night. They're in training. This is conditioning. I'm not talking about conditioning as being in shape, conditioning in your mind. Look, we can't take off. We have to find a way to win those games. Look, every night's going to be different. You may feel, man, I don't even feel like, really going tonight. But you know what? We're going to bring it, because we want that winning mentality. We're conditioning our minds, and we're conditioning our bodies to bring it every single night, consistently have that game plan together, and to prove something. And they played like that all season. And guess what? Those habits that they developed, that they trained themselves to do, those things carried over into the playoffs. That's what regular season does. You are in training. You're trying to build those winning habits. You're trying to find how we can close games. You're trying to find different ways to win, but you're also trying to establish that consistency. That's why when you hear Hall of Famers say, "Oh, this was if a team is a 60+ win team," what do they always say? they always have them, they're going to the finals. There's a reason for that. Not because they won 60 games, but it's the way that they played in those 60-win games.
Lex, you. This is the thing too, and I can't disagree with what you're saying. You're absolutely spot on. They have a machine there. I ain't gonna lie to you. Boston has a machine, and they have an identity.
They're a little different.
Yeah, but the thing is,
I'm just using them as an example, but that's what we're trying to get to.
Right? No, but that's what I'm.
You're trying to get better then. But you got to get to him before you can be better.
But hold on, DC. That's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with Lex's point, but that's what I'm saying. They have an identity. They have an established identity of who they are and what they're about. The Pelicans have to establish that identity, and once they establish it, they have to be consistent and play through that identity. And that's something that we can't be wishy-washy about. We got to live up to it. Like last year, remember, some of the identity last year was tied to our defensive acumen, how we were dealing with teams on the road. The Pelicans were road warriors up to a point. Then when we got toward the back end of the season, that identity faded away, and they became shiftless.
Home game.
Right. So, if we faded down the stretch, we lost to teams we shouldn't have lost to, like San Antonio and, that kind of stuff. We can't do that. We got to beat the teams we're supposed to be able to beat and handle business, man. That's how we get to that elite level. But yeah, go ahead, DC. And then we got Stacey. We're going to bring Stacey in to hear what's going on. And just to let the family members know, man, we got the lines open tonight, man. Shout out to the 180 plus listening. Please feel free to hit the like button, hit the share button, man. We up in here talking Pels tonight, man. Get on up in here. Hit that link. It's in the chat, man. We want to hear from you, your thoughts on the Pels. Let us know what time it is. We'll bring Stacey in. Stacey, I see you, fam. Y'all, you just sit there. DC, go ahead and get your thought in, my brother.
No, I mean, Lex, she brings up a lot of interesting points as well as yourself. I think everybody has a lot of truth to their, philosophy or point of view of it. But the way I see it is the Pelicans, they've been conning us for a while with this team. Like, they weren't seriously trying to win. Conning. Yeah, conning.
He ain't lying.
The big con.
He ain't lying.
They weren't seriously trying to win, up until I would say the year after they got CJ, right? They started attempting to try to win, and then we had the whole injury issues, right? And they've been collecting all of this data. We're learning and collecting data. You know how many times we heard that shit. But
yeah, we know that.
Right. They're slow to do everything, but they have been matriculating up into more wins. And, obviously they'll point to that in their favor. But I think at this point, we finally reached a point where if we had a center, which we don't technically have a high-level starting caliber center, or let's say we don't know if one of these guys can be a starting high caliber center, because we ain't seen it, and it's gonna take some time before you actually do see it, even if it did look good in the preseason. Because let's say they started Mises, he still would make a lot of mistakes, right? But
yeah, like you just did. It's Mises, bro.
Mises.
All right, go ahead, bro.
Oh my goodness.
I can see. All right, he's Missy.
Missy.
Missy, like Missy Elliott, Mr. Missy Elliott.
Goodness gracious.
There you go.
Oh man.
MISSI, Missy. Yeah, there you go.
Missy.
Missy, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you got it.
Missy.
Wow. No, you went back.
Just forget it, Lex.
Oh my God.
Yeah, just forget it. Just leave
Anyway, like I was saying, the Pelicans have worked up to this point, man, where they have a collection of talent to where we have guys, as you can look right now, that's on our bench. You got a guy in Trey Murphy that could command $150 million on our bench. That a lot of people would love to have as a starting caliber 3. You got a guy in Jordan Hawkins. I'm pretty sure a lot of teams, you got at least about 10, 12 teams would probably take him as a starting 2 guard. You know what I'm saying? So, you got Jose, who a lot of teams would love to have as a backup point guard. Obviously, I don't think he's a starting caliber point guard, but hey, might look a lot different this year. And I think naming some of those players, they fit with what's on our roster. The problem we have is only really two problems. We got to see who's commanding the center spot, and we have to find a way to make Brandon Ingram and Zion work. Obviously, the way to make Brandon Ingram and Zion work, we got to trade B.I. That's what we've decided on to keep this guy right here that you're looking at. So once we trade B.I., which I'm anticipating the Pels doing, even if they have to do it for maybe less than what we would like, they can't hold on to him by the trade deadline, right? But until that point, we're going to see, I guess, some inconsistency. Are you going to see some growing pains? But the starting unit, like you said, Lex, you're absolutely right. But the reason I see the Pels winning 50 games and them being able to do it is because the second unit we're going to have on the majority of nights, minus maybe what? Who you got could hang with us second unit wise? I guess I'm going to just throw out maybe 5 teams, that can hang with our second unit. You got starting level caliber players going to play with your second unit. So even if our starting lineup doesn't have the continuity, can't get it together, I don't think we're going to mess up with the starting unit and the bench unit. And it's just going to be too much for most teams to withstand over the course of the 82-game season. But the Pels definitely will get it together as far as the way that they use the personnel, because we have to move off some guys. We can't keep CJ. We can't keep B.I. Moving off of them guys frees up spots for other people, but it also opens up spots for us to fill in this roster better than it already is. And at least one of those moves we'll be able to make this year. And I think that will change the trajectory of maybe how we look at the team on the back end of the season. But starting off, man, we're a hodgepodge of talent, and we got to find a way to collectively make it all work, because everybody's going to have to sacrifice. It's just too many guys and not enough basketballs. So some guys that possibly could start going to be on the bench. What'd you say?
It's the when part, WHEN. Like, when is that going to happen? And, how much is that going to affect the team?
I mean, we got guys. We don't have a young team. They're professionals, so that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's going to affect them at all, as far as that happening. Honestly, the better Brandon Ingram plays, the quicker he can get up out of here or get to the situation he wants. I think he understands that. He knows that. CJ McCullough is obviously playing to get 33 in the third and 33 and $33 more.
You're definitely in numerology.
Goddamn.
You're definitely in the numerology, that's for certain.
You see that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So he's planning to be able to get more of that money because, after this year, he got that 1 year and he on the hook. So you got guys like that could be potentially moving, that they professionals, they playing for something. I don't think they mess up the chemistry of the team. So the only problem we have here is figuring out how we're going to fill in the starting center role. Pels figure that out, man. I think we'll be fine. It's just we can't beat the creme de la creme or top tier teams until we get that together.
Subscribe now and stay up to date for all things New Orleans Pelicans.